Hi and welcome. It's been a while since I've done a polymer clay video, but I have been playing around with clay again, so I thought I would come on and do a video. I made some Natasha beads the other day and they came out pretty cute, and I thought that I would maybe make another set and do it on video. This is what my previous beads looked like. Those were the colors I used, and after I baked them I went back and I put clay caps on the ends. They're not finished yet. I haven't gone to the glazing process yet. But today I thought I would show you how I made them. And I went through and I conditioned 4 different colors of clay. And you know they're not the same colors as the bead I just showed you. And I used polymer clay. And if you don't know how polymer clay looks when you buy it, it mostly comes in 2-ounce packages, although you can also buy 1-pound bars. When I buy pearl, white, red, blue, silver, and gold, I've started just buying 1-pound bars. So what I have here is, this is actually bright green pearl, which is my favorite color, so I thought I would use that in these beads. So this is bright green pearl. It's Fimo accents. And then I have a Premo pearl that I have combined with a Sculpey Souffle Igloo for the white color. And here is a old color, it's Sculpey Lemonade. I had this as a leftover yellow, so I thought I would use this as a color. And then here I also have Premo Accents Copper. So I thought I would put a metallic in there too, because I do like metallic sheen. So in this, I'm going to be using a tissue blade, maybe. When I start my conditioning process, once I get it a little bit malleable, I will start the softening with rolling it with my polymer clay acrylic roller. And then I have a cutter that I'm going to use to cut circles out of each of these colors, because I'm going to use my walnut hollow extruder in this process. And in this case, I'm going to be using the square disc. Let me take it out of there so you can see which one. I like this walnut hollow. I know there's a bunch of other ones on the market now that have the same mechanism, but so that is the, let's see if I can pick it up off this clay. There it goes. So that's the square. And that's what I'm going to be extruding. It's the same disc that I used in my previous beads that I showed. So you just put the disc in the cap. Both ends screw off. So I'm going to take this other end off. I've had this extruder a few years now, and I like it. So basically, that's a hollow tube, and you have this mechanism. So unscrew this all the way down. It goes a lot faster doing this than it does when you actually come to extruding clay, because you have to press all the clay in the tube through that little square. So basically you have enough room inside this tube. I could fill this much clay of this diameter. Not too bad, which is why I'm going to use this cutting disc. So I'm going to, and this should be enough clay to make a few beads. And basically, I know in the case of the green pearl, there's 4 sections inside one of these wrappers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is pretty much just 1/4 of this 2-ounce block. And this was a combination between the igloo and the pearl. This was about 1/4 of a block, and this might be a little bit more than 1/4 of a block. But they're all rolled through my pasta machine at the same thickness. Every pasta machine is a little bit different. You'll hear them referred to as polymer clay machines, but basically they are, you know, the same as a pasta machine. And I do have a motor for my pasta machine because I have just gotten to the point in my life that it tires me out to hand crank. Although you don't need the motor, you can just crank. So let me cut some circles. I just, you know, it's like doing a cookie cutter. You just go down through and it cuts the circle out of the clay. And you can do this, you know, I don't know how many I'm going to need. I haven't thought about what order I want to put these yet. I push it through and I twist it a little, and it still sometimes will stick. And you just have to pull it out. It's been a while since I did a polymer clay video. I really enjoy working with polymer clay. I didn't even know about polymer clay until I went to a week of workshops, which is a doll making, beading workshop in Connecticut. They don't do it anymore, unfortunately. But it used to be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed going there, and I met a lot of fabulous artists and learned a lot of stuff. But that's where I was introduced to polymer clay, because a lot of art dolls, our figurative art, is made out of different types of polymer clay. And it was after learning how to sculpt doll faces and things in polymer clay that I got interested in other types of sculpting and creating with polymer clay. And until recently I haven't been very interested in caning and things, but I find that I have a growing interest, shall we say, in making canes and jewelry with polymer clay. So I've got the pearl pretty much cut out, and then you just pull it away, just like cookie dough. So let me continue. So you can see all the rings, all the discs that I have cut so far. They don't have to be perfect. You might be able to see where I nipped it a little bit. It's okay. So let me do these. And I won't fast forward because I know not everyone who might be watching a video does polymer clay regularly. And while this isn't in depth, you know, I'm not showing you the opening of the package to the conditioning of the clay. Conditioning clay just means, you know, warming the clay up between your hands. If you've ever played with any type of clay, even in your childhood with Play-Doh or modeling clay, it's pretty much the same type of thing where you have to warm it up and get the molecules moving, and it becomes soft and pliable, and then you can make some amazing things with it. That's where the pasta machine comes in handy, because you can, once you get the piece that you want to work with fairly flat, you can run it through the rollers of the pasta machine and it will condition, get soft and pliable quicker. Now, everything I tell you is based on my own experience. There are many opinions on polymer clay, just like there's many opinions on just about everything in this world. So the best advice I can give you is to go out there and look around and see what other people are doing and what other people have to say about this medium. There are all kinds of brands of polymer clay. I've mentioned Soufflé and Premo, which are the ones I use the most. This is Sculpey. This is a softer clay, not considered entirely professional, because if you were sculpting with it, it is more fragile. But just as a component of a bead, it's not going to impact the stability. Well, my bright green pearl wants to stick to the cutter. That's the good thing. I'm working on a tile, a granite tile. I just bought it. I didn't just buy it, but I bought it at Home Depot. And these are wonderful to work on. And you will see later when I go to bake my clay, my beads, they will go in my regular home oven. And I will just put them on a tile, another ceramic tile, also from Home Depot, on a basic, deli sheet, a piece of parchment paper. And they will go in the oven like that. And the parchment paper on the tile will prevent the side that touches the tile from becoming shiny. There's times where that shiny side is actually a benefit. But in this case, I don't want one side to be shiny, because this will be a four-sided bead. And these are great for pendants or charms. Depending on how big you make them, it could be earrings. The sky is the limit. And once you bake this, the polymers all solidify and it becomes a form of plastic, a hard plastic, and it is very durable. One more, just the copper. There. I may re-roll my leftovers from the copper and get myself some more copper discs. I don't know yet. I have to see what's going to fit in my extruder. There are the copper bead discs. So let's see. So then the process becomes what order you want to put these in the extruder. My other first I'll show you how to put them in the extruder. So let's see. The green and the copper both kind of have a duller tone, whereas the white and the yellow are fairly bright. So I may take it, maybe I'll do copper and white, and then a green and a yellow. And I kind of like that. That's not too bad. Let's see, what does the copper next to the yellow look like? That's not too bad either. And then I would have the white on the other end, because then I could put it as copper, yellow, green, and white. I mean, the sky is the limit. You could put these in any order that you like. Can double up the copper and do one end is white and one is yellow, and I kind of like that idea. So maybe I'll make a few little stacks like that. So that's yellow and green and this white pearl, and then 2 coppers. And you don't have to do it in a pattern. You can do this randomly. You just have to experiment, because that's all this really is for me too, is an experiment. This is only the second time I have attempted to do this. So I'm going to just set them down like that for a minute. I'm just going to put my discs together. Well, that was wrong. I don't want the 2 light colors next to each other. Yellow, green, white, 2 coppers, okay. And you can switch, like I said, you can switch these around. It doesn't have to be the same order of stacks, but for this purpose I'll keep them the same, simply because I think it will probably be easier to follow. Now let's see how many of these I can. Okay, so there's that. And after saying I was going to keep it all the same, I'm going to make it white, copper, yellow and green, and then do a second green and a white and a copper and a yellow. So white, copper, yellow, green, green, white pearl, copper, and yellow. I have 2 of those. I can get 1 more of those, I think. So I'll do a white, a copper, a yellow, 2 greens. And when I get into this, you're going to be amazed, because this kind of doesn't matter. and then a yellow. At least I don't think it does. So then I'm just going to do a copper, a green, and a white. A copper, oops, a copper, a green, and a white. And maybe we'll just put a yellow at each end. Okay, so let's start out with putting our end on the extruder. And I've got the square die in it. And then you just take your little plugs, and I think I'm going to, let's see, do I want to put the whites together or the yellows together? I think I'm going to go with the whites. So I'm going to just put one set yellow first, and then the next one I'm going to put the white first. And then I'm going to put the yellow first, and then I'm going to put the white first. And then, let's see, I think I have room for two more. So then we'll put, there's a yellow one in there. I'm going to put this yellow in first. And then we have white. So I kind of mix them up. I'm just going to push it down a little bit. And you can see we're going to start with yellow. And my cogs are going to carry on. But that's alright. So then I'm just going to screw this onto my extruder. Okay, be right back. So I have the clay in the extruder. And that's all this extruder looks like. Then, as complicated as this is, it's just you turn this handle, like this, and once it gets going, the clay starts to extrude out of this little end, and it takes a while. So technically you kind of hold it like this and you go like that. That's why I said it's a much shorter process putting this there. It's coming out, see? And you can see the yellow blending into a green. And I will continue to extrude. Lots of work here. It's like running a marathon. And I want it to all come out in one long length. Pause. Almost there. Oh, easier at the end here. There we go. Okay, it's all the way. I did it all the way to the end, so it's down. This last bit is a little bit funky, but that's okay. I'm just going to reach in there with my blade and cut it off. And then I'll move this out of the way. Oh. Let myself recover a little bit. Okay. So pretty much that's all the work as far as extruding and all that. This is what we're left to work with, which is kind of pretty. You can see a lot of yellow and green. Let me just straighten it out a little. All right, so then what I need is 4 lengths, and I'd like 4 equal lengths. So I just got to get my metal ruler. So let's see, how long is this? Put it on 1. Okay, this is an 18-inch ruler. I'd say it's around 19 inches, maybe 19 1/4. So if we take, I think we're going to use 4-inch. So I'm just going to lay it on here and take my blade. I'm just going to cut it at 4 inches. And when I cut it, you can see the fascination of extruding, because you don't know what you've got in the middle until you cut it. Okay, so that's the first one I showed you. Look at the second one. Because the colors, when you extrude and you put discs in like that, they kind of swap and push each other around and become beautiful. So there's that one. And let's see, here's the last one. Probably should have let it rest a little bit, but that's what the last one looks like. And that's the leftover piece, which is still usable. There's really no waste in polymer clay. So let me pull these together, move them aside, and get rid of all this. There. And wet wipe. Clean my blade off. So then what we have is we've got these 4 rectangular strings of clay, of extruded clay. And all I'm going to do is put these together. And I'm going to put this one up here and this one here. I'm basing that mostly on the outside edge because this edge seems to have some copper in it, and this edge seems to be more like it, and the other 2 are mostly that green color. So I thought I'd mix them up. Now I'm just going to push them. Get my tweezers, excuse me, while I remove a Wally hair. Maybe. Yep. Okay. It's hard here to not have Wally hairs. Wipe my fingers off. Okay. Let's put that together. And then what you want to do, now I'll show you the ends. There's that end. There's that end. Vastly different. Oops, there you go. Squeeze them together because this polymer clay is great at sticking to itself. Well, souffle doesn't stick to itself that easily, but I have the souffle I used is mixed with pearl, Fimo pearl, Premo pearl. So It's all good. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to roll it a little bit like this, and you kind of get into it gets in, you make a log, just like in kindergarten. And you're feeling to make sure you don't have any air pockets, because like if it splits and stuff, you could have an air pocket. You don't want air pockets. They're not your friend. And then I usually lay mine down, because then I just push the end away from me to twist. You can just hold it and twist it. I just find it easier to do that. And then I flip it over and I twist it the same direction. Ah, this is really pretty, just even the outside of this spiral. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Put this white card under it so you can see it. It is so pretty. Back to my black tile. Okay. And then don't forget the ends. Make sure you let the ends get twisted. And then if you want, you can fold it in half and twist it some more. And you're saying, Kelly, why did we extrude it? That was a lot of work. Now you're just messing it all up. And it's all part of the beauty, the magic. Okay, so now it's pretty much all twisted. The more you twist this, the more detail you get, the smaller the detail. If you don't want to have small detail, then you can stop at any point. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it in half again. I'm just going to bring it together, because now I want to get it back into a rectangle. So now I'm just pushing the ends together, doing that, and now I'm going to roll across it with my roller just to get it going into more of a square shape. Well, rectangle shape. And, you know, this can take a while because I'd like to get rid of that seam there. And a lot of people are a lot more precise than I am. I'm not the most patient of people. I don't like to do these over and over and over again. So then what I do, once I get it kind of to where I want it, get my ruler out again. I just want to check to see how long it is. Okay, so this is about 5 inches long. And I really only need it to be about, well, I only want it to be around 4 inches long. So what I'm going to do is compress it a little, which just means I'm going to squeeze it back onto itself a little bit. Kind of sharpen up the ends. Get my ruler back in here. Look at that. Now it's 3 inches. See, it doesn't take a whole lot to change these, but that's okay. Oh, now it's about 3.5 inches. Okay, now it's almost 4 inches. I'm just going to stretch it a little more. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to take my blade again and just set this on here. I'm going to find my 2-inch mark. I'm going to cut it at 2 inches. And then I'm going to put them together like this. And then I'm just going to work at this a little bit. I'm going to roll it just to spread it out a little. This clay has gotten really soft. I'm just rubbing at the seams, trying to smooth it out a little. I think this is pretty just the way it is, kind of, with these colors. Nice and bright, springy. Okay, so I'm just going to take my roller, and I can see that my middle is kind of sunken, or it's gotten thinner than my ends, but that's okay too, because I'm not done cutting it. I still have to cut it into the length of beads that I might want. So I'm just going to stretch it out a little. And for the end, I can use the end of my acrylic rod and kind of flatten that up like that. And then you can also take your blade and do this. I can use my blade with my ruler and kind of, you know, push it into straight shape. Okay, so not too bad. So let's see how long this is. Yep, I still have it right about 4 inches. So for my beads, I can get 4 beads and they'll be 1 inch long. If that's how you want to cut it, you can do whatever your heart desires at this point. I'm going to cut at, make sure I've got the sharp side of my blade down, about 1, about 2, and about 3. Not exactly, I can see they're a little different, but that's okay. Oops, guess I gotta cut all the way through. It's the only bad thing about cutting on the ruler. Okay, and I didn't cut the ends off. You can cut the ends off. In this application, it's really not necessary because that's not the important part. What you do, get these out of the way. I'll use this one and I'll pull you in a little tighter. See if I can get it to focus again. So we have this little rectangle. You would cut it in half and lay it down. and that's what you got. But then you would cut it in half again. And cut this one in half again. And then you lay these down. And you come up with this mirrored image. Here we're going to match up the yellow and the white and the copper. And you kind of get a, or zoomed in. So you kind of get it lining up like that. And then you lay these two pieces down. Oops, too far. And then you line these up and put them together. And that's what this side looks like. And yet, if you go this way and match these up, you get that. And then on this side, you just match this up, and you get that. So now you have a bead that has a different design on each side. And these are called Natasha beads. Sometimes you have to play with them. And I'll put it down, turn it over, use my roller a little bit. I think that one kind of looks like a tulip, like a green tulip with white leaves. That one. You have to decide which way is up for you. There's this one. And there's that shield looking one. That's kind of pretty. Want to do another one? Let's see. I'll try to cut this one in half. And lay it down. And then cut this in half. And cut this in half. And we'll lay this down. And then we'll lay this down. Kind of like it that way better, but it's actually this way. Gotta pick it up so I can see. Okay, that one went together pretty easily, and yeah. Figure out which way you want, or you should be anyway. Well, that kind of looks like a butterfly at the bottom. I think I got that one a little twisted, okay. think I got a little turned around on this one. But that's okay, because it's still a pretty bead. I'm still gonna be able to use it. It's only my second set of these. Ooh. Is that Marge kind of peering out from there? Not Simpson, but the one from the comic strips with the dog. Can you see her eye over here? Okay, I'll do another one. See if I can make it work. I'm going to cut it right here. And I'm not picking it up this time. I'm just laying it down. I may have over twisted it. I didn't think you could over twist it, but okay, so then you go like this. And you go like this. Maybe I didn't open both sides. That's a possibility. And you put the two halves together. And then you pick them up and you put them back to back. Oh, I guess that's just the way. Oh, and then that's what that looks like. Ooh, that looks like a wacky rabbit. Oh, and so does this side. This one's got yellow ears. That's a little scary. Unless you look at it like a flower. But if you look at it like Mad Bunny eyes, then it's a little scary. I know, I'm a little strange. Just a little. So, just kind of putting them together. Go back and you kind of rub at the seams and stuff just to smooth them out. Oops, I want to pull my detail out of whack. Okay, make them straight again. So there's that one. Oh, I put them up out of view, didn't I? Those are the ones that we've done so far. So there's one left. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, this has gone a little longer than I wanted it to, but that's okay. Almost looks like a tulip there. Let's see. Okay, I'll pick this up and we'll put this like this. And then, ooh, this side. Like that. And then I'm just going to rub the seam a little bit, kind of give it a little bit of a push. Okay. So there's that one. turn that one around. So those are Natasha beads. My take on extruded Natasha beads. And I think they're fun. I would just take a toothpick and put a hole down the center. Of course, I don't. Yeah, I don't have a toothpick right here. Or I would show you. Oh, hold on just a second. I'll grab one. Now you can also do this, like form these around a toothpick before you put the four together. But all you would do is go into the end and go about halfway, and then go into this other end, just aiming for the middle, and you can kind of feel when they meet, because then it just comes out the other end. And you can leave these on the toothpick to bake them, or you can take them off. I'll just go halfway, and then turn it around, go into the center, and just twist it a little bit. You can feel when it meets, and it just comes out the other side. Really cool. I'm really enjoying making these. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's fun. There's many different ways to make Natasha beads. You don't have to extrude them. Maybe I'll do another video with a different way of making them in different colors, because that's what I like, different colors. So yeah, there we go. Natasha beads, extruded Natasha beads. Let's see, put that shield up. There we go. They're really kind of cool. If I can get them to stop sticking to my fingers. Extruded Natasha beads. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Be colorful.